David, why are you so concerned about the redevelopment of the Parramore area?
Well, there's many reasons. One, I'm a resident, and more importantly, and what I would like to make clear to everybody is that I have a vested interest. I control 6.7 acres within Parramore. I've lived here since 1996. I have businesses here in Parramore, and like anybody in any neighborhood, they have concerns about their area and how it's treated and what's done here.
How do you become so well informed about the task force, subcommittees, downtown development, and CRA advisory boards, policies, and procedures?
Well, I have a very fortunate and unique position in that I control commercial real estate. And in that, I only really need to work to take care of any problems through the month, but basically all my income comes in at the first of the month, and I'm off for the next 29 days. So basically, I have all the time in the world to dedicate to whatever interests I have. I'm a photographer and I run my businesses, but at any time, I'm able to go to any meeting that interests me. What I do is I go to meetings that affect my investment, which is downtown, Parramore, or any of those types of meetings. All of those organizations that you mentioned affect the people of Parramore, the people of downtown. It's how my tax dollars are spent. And I spend a great deal of time going to the meetings and recording them all so that I have a record of what they do and I become knowledgeable about all of those subjects.
Obviously, these issues are very important to you. Do you feel that the Parramore residents in particular are being misled or just don't care about the issues concerning their community?
I definitely think they're being misled and bamboozled. They're being told that we'll give you credit counseling, we'll help you to take classes in homeownership, but the residents of Parramore, the residents now, are generally lower paid single moms with kids. They're working very hard to support their families, and they pay rents, and they're not the powerful or they're not really knowledgeable about what's going on in their area. What I would say is that the renters need to be taken care of because there's very little rental property available for everybody of every economic level and every income category. But most importantly is the lowest category, the ones that are paying the $300 to $500 a month rent, have nowhere to go if they're moved out of Parramore because there's no other apartments or anywhere to pay in the rest of the city that they could possibly afford. So if the city would take parts of the massive amounts of tax benefits that they derive from development and put that towards helping the people that are going to be need to be relocated, that would be a good thing. If not, I don't know where they go, quite honestly. I assume they go on the street or with relatives or somewhere where they have to go. They're fortunate enough to have it.
Have you heard any feedback from other black residents around Orlando in reference to the Parramore redevelopment?
I get calls occasionally from some that either want information or have questions or indicate that they want to do something, and I can't even criticize them for not doing anything or not being more proactive because the city, I guess by choice or purposely, puts city council meetings at 2 o'clock on Monday afternoon. If you wanted to make certain that it was very difficult for working people to be able to attend and have their voices heard, you couldn't pick a better time to hold your meetings.
Based on all of your videos that I've viewed, it seems that you show a lot of footage on Commissioner Daisy Lynum. Is she the only commissioner pushing this project?
Well, every commissioner is responsible, and it's even a code within the commissioners that you get what you want for your district as long as I get what I want for my district. Betty Wyman is probably the best example of that. She just rubber stamped whatever comes her way to support whatever the commissioners want in their district. Now, Daisy Lynum is my commissioner of District 5, and therefore everything that happens in District 5, well, with the exception of a few that irritate her greatly, things go through her, and she, of course, is always involved in that. Now, Daisy and I don't have a problem with Miss Lynum. I mean, I have a problem with things she does, but I don't take anything personally. I I really react to whatever's done. I try to evaluate what I think is right and wrong, and I speak towards that subject. Most times I'm ignored, as are the citizens of Orlando mostly ignored. I find that most things are already a done deal. They've been handled through the city. Staff is controlled by the mayor and the council, and staff is the one that really pushes the agendas and handles the way things are handled. Whether they're open, whether they're get public input, whether there's things that are done underhandedly, or whether there's misinformation or misleading the public or whatever. But you have to understand that the majority of people are apathetic, and that's not just in the black community, that's in the white community and everywhere. Many of them feel that their voices are going to be ignored anyway, so why should they take the time and the effort and lose money to go down and speak? I look at it like it needs to be on the record. Whether I win, lose, or draw, I'm there to put my information on the record. Once it's on the record, then they can do what they want. If they choose to vote in line with something that I oppose, then by all means go ahead. But your record is established, and your voting record is the only thing that you can be judged on as a politician.
Right after Thanksgiving, you scheduled 8 meetings at various times over a 4-day period to educate anyone who is interested to come hear your thoughts on the Parramore Redevelopment. Right after Thanksgiving, you scheduled 8 meetings at various times over a 4-day period to educate anyone who is interested to come hear your thoughts on the Parramore redevelopment plans. How many people attended?
There were probably about 10 to 12 people that came, and they came to 3 different meetings. The first 3, there was very short notice given, and unfortunately there's not that many people interested in this subject. So I didn't schedule any more meetings for the next week.
Besides the YouTube website...
I should turn this off. Just let me do that.
Okay.
I wouldn't even get a call forever.
That's the way it is.
Yeah, let me just turn this thing completely off. That'll be better. There you go.
Okay. Besides the YouTube website and the emails, have you explored other ways of getting your message out to the general public?
Well, I've always used the email mainly. The YouTube has been a godsend. It's really a wonderful tool, and it's gotten many, many hits. There's been, I would say, yesterday was 2,380 hits on the 4 videos over an average of probably 2 weeks between the one that's just been out a few days and the ones that have been out a month. The news, Channel 9 News running it and putting their links on the website increased to 50% in a matter of days. So there were a lot of people that saw that. Emails are good because they're easy and you can distribute them quickly and cheaply to a lot of folks. If people want to be removed, all they need to do is ask. I'm happy to take them off. My goal is to educate the public and make sure that these politicians know that the people understand what's really going on, so that when they do try to do something that's either underhanded or dishonest or improper or not the smartest and best use of tax dollars, or however you want to categorize it, they're held accountable for their actions. If they do good and look good, that's great. If they do good, bad and do bad, that's great too. But it's important that the public be notified. The problem is that the news channels can only do sound bites. They can only do 10-second or 30-second or a minute little blurb on the subject, which these subjects are much more, intense and much more to understand than can be ever put in a sound bite like that. This particular development, for example, there's like 10 things quickly that I could say off the cuff, from the land sold too cheap, the bids were done poorly because they were done over Thanksgiving and Christmas, the pre-bid conference was 2 weeks later, allowing for 16 days for someone to put together a complicated bid. You had the affordability of the project was very low, only 10 affordable units, none of which were affordable for the people of Parramore. The promises made to the people of Parramore are no longer appropriate because they're either not here or can't buy into this development. That's just 7 or 8 things just off the top of my head. And how would you ever go over all of that in a 10-second soundbite on Channel 9 News?
So when is the next video being released?
I'm waiting for the tape of yesterday's meeting at the city council. I should have that tomorrow. And I intend on putting what everybody did and said on a video, maybe 2 videos, because there may be enough information to put on 2. You can't go over 10 minutes on YouTube. And I also don't want to make them too long where people get to where they won't watch them. But I plan on showing what everyone said and how it went down, and then at least everybody knows what went on. But we're locked into that deal now. The man has a 1-year free option for $1.68 a square foot. And the city's locked, and he's not. He can get out of the deal if he wants. I don't know why he would. He's bought the land for a 20th of its value.
That's it.
There you go.
Anything else you want to say?
I'd like to say that I think that citizens should all get more involved in their communities and the politics, and they need to know what's going on, and they need to be aware that they shouldn't feel disappointed or disenfranchised if they don't get what they want or they feel they're being ignored, because that's exactly what they want, is for you to go away and for them to be able to do what they want without any responsibility or any input from the public. If they truly wanted public input, their meetings could start at 5 o'clock in the evening or 5:30. They could be at community centers. They do that occasionally. I think Buddy's had 1 or 2 in a year. It used to be there were 6 per year, 1 in each district. Those were at 7:30. They're very well attended when that did happen. The other thing is general appearances, the part where the public can speak on any subject. That's not aired on TV. Buddy and the council do not want people to see what others have to say just on any subject that they wish to talk about. It has to wait till the end of the meeting, so a person doesn't know if they're going to be able to talk at 2:30 or 3, or if it's going to be a 7 o'clock meeting and then they get to speak after the end where it's not televised. So all of these things need to be changed, and the public should be made more part of and have a more active role in the way our representatives represent us and the input that we are able to provide.